very random. Me and my coworkers, we just randomly look at each other and quote Twilight, but in a southern accent, and it's so much better. It's real funny. Like we got this like spray, and it's like shiny, it's like glittery,
Uh-huh.
and so like they sprayed it on, and we're just like, this is the skin of a killer, Bella. Yeah, no, we just look at each other and just do shit like that, and just like one morning, I just like walked out in front of everybody. I was just like, I am inexplicably and irrevocably in love with him. We just do that all day, literally all day. I don't know how anything gets done. Are we recording?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Honestly though,
Just checking.
The funniest part about that story is you've watched Twilight enough to quote it.
Oh, check it out. Okay, watch this. I like have seen Twilight on a technicality. That's all I'm gonna say. It gets real PG-13 after that. But yes, I just read the quotes. It's really funny. There's like a list of Twilight quotes. Hold on, I'm gonna just type in Twilight quotes really fast. This is a gaming podcast, by the way. Hey, Mediocre Gamer fam, how are you doing?
Hi everyone.
This is what we talk about when we're not recording, and then we're gonna get to the topic eventually. But here's a Twilight quote. No matter how perfect the day is, it always has to end. Like it's just funny. It's just really
so
funny.
Horribly corny and
it's so funny. It's like funnier in a southern accent.
Absolutely.
And that's a very regional thing, and it's a very Alabama thing. But that's just me and what me and my coworkers talk about sometimes. AJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you know, don't mean to bring the mood down too much, but for those of you that don't know, I mean, it was at least a big deal around here, but survived a tornado recently, so that was pretty cool. We're still here. The house is fine. It was a record tornado. It went something over like 100 miles of distance and a top speed of 100 or 230 miles an hour of rotational speed. So it was a doozy, and there's a lot of parts of Omaha that aren't doing great, but thank God everyone I know and along with myself is doing good. So hey, I can't complain. It's a good day. It's a good day. We're here and everything's all right. How are you, Anthony?
I'm good. Just work and living life, I guess. Nothing really new to report except for like matter of fact, any quote period. If you give it to me, I will read it in a southern accent. We can start off like whatever episode with it. That's fine. But it could be like from Shigeru Miyamoto. It could be from Todd Howard. He just did a podcast with Game Over Greggy. He didn't do our podcast. I reached out. His people said he was busy doing the other one.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Yeah, no, gosh, how dare he go to Game Over Greggy with the kind of funny games cast over the Mediocre Gamer podcast? Jeez, like does my man have no taste?
Right?
Good night.
Leagues better. Leagues better.
That has nothing to do with our topic of the
Nothing.
Absolutely
nothing we've talked about has had anything with our topic.
No, and I mean, to be honest, the only reason we have this topic now, or one of the many reasons, while we are passionate about anime games, hey, we mentioned the topic. There hasn't been a lot of gaming news. I mean, obviously you've got the Fallout show doing numbers. You've got Fallout next gen update breaking the game.
Right as they're like peak popularity, they're just breaking it.
Now, what's interesting is Fallout 76 actually reached a concurrent player count of 1 million players because of the Fallout show.
That doesn't surprise me.
I think they're playing the wrong Fallout. That's just me and my opinions.
I agree with that. Unless, the only time I'll like give it a pass is if you want to play with your friends.
Right.
I'll give it a pass.
Right.
I'll give it a pass. But
I will tell you some games you can play with your friends. Anime games.
Yeah, you certainly can. That's because the vast majority of them are arena brawlers, which is like the most for those of you that don't know, that's essentially you have like a ring or a circular, or I guess maybe some of them are square, but ring where you just do kind of like a Mortal Kombat, more like a Tekken, my bad, like a Tekken kind of style fight that's way more basic usually, not nearly as combo heavy, just like almost like a Smash moveset where it's like basic, but you don't have the depth of Smash or Tekken.
Tekken. There are like a handful of exceptions to that
Yes.
rule. Probably the most
Yes.
most notable one being Skullgirls. Are you familiar with Skullgirls,
I'm
AJ?
actually not.
Oh my gosh, I'm finna put you on. I mean, I'm not even that familiar. I got this secondhand from someone who was super into Skullgirls. Oh my
Uh-huh.
gosh. Basically, it's a 2D anime fighter. It's anime girls fighting each other with anime powers. There's nothing really cool about that in particular. It's nothing really differentiated, except the coolest part about it to me personally, as
Mhm.
someone who is a casual fighting game fan, is that all the animations are hand drawn.
Oh, that's sick. That's I think that's like Guilty Gear. I'm pretty sure that's hand drawn too.
Similar,
Yeah.
very very similar. I think it might be from the same team. I might be wrong
Oh,
again. The
okay.
Mediocre Gamer podcast, but yes, Skullgirls is also not based on any IP that I know of that I was able to find. I could be
Mhm.
missing something very obvious, but yeah, it's just they wanted these dope designs in the game, and they made a really dope game with really dope, almost frame perfect combat. It's so good.
Interesting. I'll have to look into it. But really what started this, not started it, but made it popular, this whole arena fighter trend, it was the Naruto Storm games, because those were actually
Oh,
like those were good ones. Like, like you said, there's exceptions. Like, those were actually really well made, and since then we have just gotten lazy rendition after lazy rendition between the My Hero one, the recent Jujutsu Kaisen one that came out. Like, it's just like it's been nothing. The One Punch Man one was really rough. Like, Jump Force, baby, we can't forget that one. Like, it's
Shout out
been
to Jump
tough.
Force. Jump Force was the fighting game we thought we were asking for. Like
Yeah,
that's the problem. Is
and
that and then
it looks so cool. The visuals are so good in that game. I think
yeah.
if it was done right, dude, that game could have been legendary. But instead, it was
I
Jump
mean,
Force.
yeah, but I mean, to be completely honest, I mean, we learned this back with like Dragon Ball Budokai. Like we learned
Yeah.
this that these like, a lot of these are just cash grabs.
Yep.
Dragon Ball Budokai 3 is probably my favorite because it was on GameCube and the GameCube doesn't get enough love as is. But also, it was just really fun, and it was fun to like push your opponent to the edge of the arena and knock them out and do these like crazy transitions.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was cool. It was also very dumb and a cash grab because it's no different than the game that came before it. But Dragon Ball Budokai 3, it's a lot of B's.
Oh,
It was
you're
just
not even getting the full name. That name's even worse.
oh no,
It's
because when they went to next gen, that's when you get the Dragon
oh
Ball Budokai Tenkaichi. Yeah. Oh, you thought I
oh
forgot? You thought I
oh
forgot? Come on,
I
now you
did.
quit playing with me.
I did.
Come on now. Come on now. Dragon Ball Budokai. I had Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi. I think I had Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii. Because that
Okay.
was when it was more like Ninja Storm, right?
Uh
Dragon
huh.
Ball Budokai was more like Tekken. Tenkaichi is more like Ninja Storm in the sense of like you just have these powers, it's this big arena, do whatever you want. Like
Okay. Okay. I never played
yeah.
any of them. I've seen like gameplay and whatnot. I just haven't played them myself. That is like one thing I do gotta give some of these the like the cutscenes and the animations in some of them are fucking bonkers. Like again, the Naruto Storm, or like it wasn't a great game, but the Demon Slayer Hinokami Chronicles that came out recently, like
Yeah.
those animations are sick. Like, they did such a phenomenal. Granted, they're done by the same company. I think it's called like CC2 or something like that. I'll have it
Oh
up,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
they're at least a quality game studio when it comes to these games. But again, I would still like a little variety. Like, we finally got a bit of variety with the Dragon Ball Kakarot games. Like, I think that was a
Oh yeah,
really
Dragon Ball Kakarot.
cool
Fighter
game.
Z as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're missing a big opportunity with anime games to make stronger single player stories. And like, I don't care whether you divert from the original story. They alternate dimension, or like it follows the same one. I don't care. Like, there's so many of these worlds that would work great as like an open world. Like, imagine running around as a ninja in into the different villages and stuff. Like, you're not Naruto or anything. You're like just an
Yeah.
Anbu Black Op or something. Or like
Yeah. Yo, listen, Naruto Anbu Black Up, like a Naruto stealth game in the
yeah.
vein of like Ninja Gaiden. Which one was that? Z.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that would be dope.
That'd be sick. Or like, again, like Dragon Ball Kakarot at least was like more open world, and you can essentially be Goku. Like, you can go do whatever you want. I know there's a One Piece game. I think it's Odyssey. I don't watch One Piece or anything, so I
want to say it's Odyssey.
I think it's Odyssey.
You don't watch You don't watch One Piece?
Dog, I don't have
never seen any of it? Or?
I have. I did try. I gave it an honest try. It was Usopp's arc was really, really, really hard to get through, and then Sanji's arc just didn't grab me. And I'm like, all right, after like 40 some episodes, if it doesn't grab me, the show just I know it gets good. I'm not willing to spend hundreds of episodes to get there. I'm just not.
No, listen, I completely understand that. I have friends who are deeply entrenched in all that is One Piece. And they tell me I have commitment issues, and as the person in a long-term relationship, I call bullshit. But, there are so many just anime games that have wasted potential, like you were talking about. My favorite one of wasted potential is Kill la Kill If. Oh my gosh, that game pissed me off.
Yeah, I haven't heard great things. I haven't watched Kill la Kill, so I haven't played the game. You know, it just kind of goes hand in hand.
You haven't watched Kill la Kill, dude?
I know. It's on my list.
It's not that bad.
It's on my list.
There's a lot of animes on a lot of people's list. But I will say, I gotta give credit where credit is due. Just recently, the late great Kira Toriyama got a game made, Sandland, based on one of his many projects that isn't Dragon Ball Z,
which also has an anime. It's a Hulu original. I haven't watched that either. I don't know if it's good, but the game looks good. I am interested.
Really interesting and fun, and it just reminds me. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I think the first time that I realized that games existed beyond just Naruto and Dragon Ball Z in the anime space was the Blue Dragon game on the 360, my brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that game it was okay. I mean, it's a 360 game through and through, so it's not as deep as something that we would expect today. But it was fine. But it was the first time where like I saw an anime, I was like, oh, this is weird and obscure. And then I walked into GameStop and saw it in a disc, and I was like, how deep does the rabbit hole go? Like, what's going on?
Okay, so this is a little like it's on topic but off topic. What was your first anime that you watched?
You know something? I think the first series, because obviously the first time you see anime and the first series are going to be two completely different things.
Oh, yeah, okay. But ignoring, when you're a kid and it just happened on Cartoon Network. Like, ignoring that. Like, truly sat down, watched it.
Probably Kill la Kill, which is funny. This was back in high school. This was back when I had a friend who was super into all things anime. He tried to get me into JoJo. I got 3 episodes into season 1. I was like, this is trash. I'm gonna just skip to the next season because it's an anthology in a way. It just follows a bloodline. But Kill la Kill was the first one that like I woke up and I was like, I got Crunchyroll, I got time, whatever. And I started it and I was like, this is interesting. And I finished it. I was like, that was really cool. And yeah, whenever I would get bored and I was like, oh man, I got a whole day of nothing to do and it's the middle of the summer, instead of going outside, I would just watch Kill la Kill front to back. That's really sad saying it out loud. But it's funny you mentioned the first anime I ever watched because I have a very vivid memory. I remember like this is when Toonami was like becoming the anime base. And this was we were probably in the 3rd or 4th grade, some shit like that. And I remember like it was the first episode of Naruto, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's a cartoon and it looks a little different, it's a little more realistic, all right, whatever. And I remember in the first episode when Naruto had like the big old spell book where he got the Shadow Clone Jutsu from, and then a dude threw a demon wind shuriken at him, and Iruka just took that bad boy to the back and was just like, Naruto, hey, listen, you can beat him if you really just want to. I'm gonna take a nap now. And I was like, dog, why is he bleeding like that? Like, what is going on? I was like, is he alive? Also, oh man, I have so many. This is just bringing up anime memories. This isn't the anime memories with Anthony podcast. But
as a kid, Gaara scared the living shit out of me.
As he should have.
Oh yeah, dude, he is so raw in classic. It's not even funny. But my first anime experience is a bit of a tough one. Like I said, of course, as a kid, I saw Naruto, Dragon Ball. I mean, who didn't catch random episodes on Toonami? But Tokyo Ghoul was yeah. So I was one of those guys, back when I was in school, like grade school, once at college I stopped caring, but grade school and below, I really cared about my appearance. I was one of those people. And so I was like, ooh, I wouldn't be dead caught watching anime. Like, that's, for weirdo, whatever, right? And my friend was like, no, just give this show a shot. Try, and it was like his first one too. He was just like, the premise of the show is really cool. Like, the action's good. Just watch the first like 2-3 episodes, and if you don't want to watch anymore, like, we'll switch. Just only like an hour of our time. It's like a Saturday, right? Like, we got during the day, like we got more. We're doing our thing. Yeah, we got plenty of time. So it's just like, all right, I'll watch. And so after the first episode, I was like, all right, next one, because I like at that time, like, I didn't like the first season. I'd still say to this day is good. I've rewatched it like a handful, like the first half a handful of times. I'd still say it's not amazing, but it's not as good as the manga. No, but
right, obviously,
but it's pretty good. And so like the whole dark themes and how they eat people, I was just like, this is so crazy and out there. And I also really like dark stuff, so I was like, this is fucking sick. And so and then Re came out, and we don't need to talk about that. It just went all downhill. But
I mean, anime has such a special place in just our hearts, and I feel like for a long time, people were just like, anime's for the weirdos. But AJ, I'm gonna tell you a secret, okay? I've recently found out I'm a nymphomaniac, and looking back, I've probably been a nymphomaniac for a long time. Because the girls who watch anime, I would be like, okay, you said you watch these, okay, and so to have something to talk about, I would catch an episode here, read up on the lore here, whatever, and it didn't help me in my endeavors, but I mean, that's a huge contributor to why I watched anime.
Yeah, I have to give it all to my friend, because then after that, then I went on to Attack on Titan, which is to this day my favorite show. I mean,
okay, time out. Pause.
Passes non-anime for me, but paused.
No, I know, I understand. I hear what you're saying. So I watched the first episode, and I was like, okay. And then I heard that there's a lull where it's like a bunch of political stuff and blah blah blah. And I'm like, dog, I'm here for these giant monsters. I don't understand why. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those weird kind of mental blocks I gotta get through to like make myself finish it, because everyone's like, oh my gosh, top 10 anime ever, top 10 shows ever, and I believe it. That's the crazy part. I believe you. I just can't make myself.
I'm a bad person to ask, because I'll overhype it, because it is like my favorite show of all, even non-anime. So like, I'm a bad person to ask, and I can admit that, because I will overhype it. So I don't want you to go into these like crazy expectations, but the story is just so well, like, I haven't seen a story this well written, and that's why I appreciate it so much.
Okay, random question. This is gonna tie back. Have you seen Breaking Bad? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a close second.
Just checking because shout out to Breaking Bad. Oh my gosh, the Breaking Bad anime would be crazy.
Oh, that'd be.
Can we talk about that?
Dude, that'd be wild. They would do something.
But instead of meth, they're selling like, I don't know, magic crystals and stuff that they culminate from a different dimension, and it's just like, oh yeah, we gotta sell it, and then like they make monsters and shit, and it's like, oh no, this is bad. We gotta keep selling it.
All right, I'm gonna tie this back to games a little bit here. So I do have a question here. So I want to know, I guess, what I would say people, but this is our podcast, consider as an anime game. Because I've heard people consider Zelda to be anime. I've seen people consider Final Fantasies to be anime. Like, where is the line drawn? Because I can see where they're coming at with both of those. I don't think Zelda's necessarily an anime, but it kind of has that art style, so I get it.
I see where they're coming from with it. Where I draw the line as an anime game specifically is a game based on an anime, if that makes sense. Like,
but then what about like Persona? I would say Persona's an anime game. Doki Doki Literature Club. You look at that, because you go, that's anime. Like, you just look at it.
Yeah, kind of. The only reason you get that one is because, or a lot of those, is because of the style, right? However, anime literally translates to just Japanese animation, right?
Zelda.
And then if you look at if you look at video games as animations and this, that, and other, you could technically slide that in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't disagree with that argument, right?
Yeah.
But however, personally, when I say anime game, I mean a game based on an anime that was originally hand drawn, probably turned into a 3D cel shaded model, because that's how anime games are done.
I agree. Well, and then like, okay, so what if it's a game? So like Persona, great example.
Mm-hmm.
Each, I don't know about the first two, 'cause I haven't touched those. Those are archaic, but 3, 4, and 5.
Archaic.
3, 4, and 5 all have an anime that came out based on the game. So now, would that make those anime games in that instance?
So I would say no, just because Cyberpunk Edgerunners came out after Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk 2077 is not an anime game.
That's a good point. But Cyberpunk also isn't a Japanese game or Japanese art style. I mean, there's references, of course. I know there's like, Arasaka's from Asia, but like...
Now, fun fact, the company that made Kill la Kill also made the Cyberpunk Edgerunner series, so actually the show is a proper anime.
It is.
Also, watch Promare. I don't have anything else to add. Just watch Promare. It's a trip. Also made by Studio Trigger. Shout out Studio Trigger. But
dude. Oh, you know what game would be sick? I'm sorry.
Talk to me. No, cut me off. Cut me off, AJ. Get a knife.
Game pitch time.
Do it, dude.
A game set in the Cowboy Bebop world.
Okay. Yes.
Like, you know, you don't necessarily. Really, I mean, you could have the regular crew. You could have Spike and all them, but you could also just be an aimless bounty hunter. It could be after the fact. It could be before. You know, there's, you have all the factions. You have all the stuff. Like a space bounty hunter game in that world could be so cool.
Okay, this will never happen. I'm talking about in 1,000 years.
No.
But that's the game Starfield should have been. That's my hot take. Bethesda should have made a crazy, weird cowboy alien space game, and they're like, oh, we went NASA punk with it. We went super realistic and not very whatever. All right, fine, whatever, that's fine. We can keep the same art style, but I just need just a crazy bounty hunter. He has to be crazy. He needs to be off. He needs to be the one that's like, all right, great, we're gonna go to this planet. He's like, that's the planet I collect my spiders. It's like just weird, just strange man.
Yes,
strange man. Right? I just like because basically that you could play the Outer Worlds kind of like that, sort of, not really, but kind of, right? But no, because I see the vision. You just want to get in your ship. And you're like, I want to go see who I need to catch, and you get a list of people and you pick them. And it's like, all right, come on, Jackie, come on, Evan, because animes usually have either very weird names or very normal names. Just go in the middle, and then like your main character's name is something weird like Quaxel or something just crazy, like just something random, and it's like, yeah, bet. And we just go and we catch stuff, and you got to deal with like your crew members' personalities. It's sort of like, oh man, it's like FTL meets Starfield in a way, where you get these crew members and you got to manage stuff and you got to think about how these people are going to think about you. Yeah, no, that's the game Bethesda should have made instead of making Starfield. Just make Cowboy Bebop, and just not even Cowboy Bebop the game. Just literally, you could call the game In the World of Cowboy Bebop, and people are like, yes.
Yes. Oh, exactly. And speaking of Bethesda and Starfield, I saw an article today that I thought was kind of funny where Todd Howard said he thinks people didn't like Starfield as much because it was a change from like the Fallout and Elder Scrolls type of gameplay and like play style. And I think objectively that's wrong. I was gonna say because there's like nothing to do really outside of like your main like 4 factions. Like everything else is boring. There's nowhere fun to explore. Like exploring is boring, and that's what everyone likes doing in those games.
Yeah, they literally have, it's like, oh, there's over 1 billion planets, and well, it's like 1,000 planets, whatever they said, and there's nothing on 99.9% of them, right?
Yeah.
And I think Todd Howard also said that they value quality over quantity, and I think that's wrong too. So
he also did say in that I believe same article, maybe not, I've seen a few things on him recently where he did say they're trying to figure out a way to increase output because people are like really craving that new Fallout now, and so he said they're trying to find ways to increase output. So I hope that means more staff and not less quality, but We'll see.
The problem means, first of all, I mean, this is the same studio that gave us the Fallout update that broke Fallout 4. So I don't trust them 100%.
Yeah.
And this is also the same studio. And they have the answer to the question, right? This is the crazy part. People have wanted Obsidian to make another Fallout game since New Vegas. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Literally, all you got to do is just be like, oh, yeah, we're going to do Fallout New Vegas 2, but we're going to license that out to whoever the fuck. Obsidian can make Fallout Southeast or whatever they're gonna make with the thing. Like, they have the solution, right? And granted, we're getting a remake of Fallout 3. I promise you this is gonna tie back to anime. Just trust me, viewer. We're gonna get the Fallout 3 remake, which nobody asked for. It's a remaster, not a remake. I'm so sorry. Which means it's gonna be just as buggy as ever, just as broken as ever. Yep. It's just gonna look really pretty. And
I think that's relative. The really pretty part's relative, but we'll see.
I mean, it's a remaster, okay? So I trust that they just have better lighting. Like, okay, I think that's going to be the real test of the creation engine if we really want to talk about that, because they claim that Starfield 2 is running on the Creation Engine 2, which is just Creation Engine 1 with a new coat of paint. But let's test that theory. If it really is a different engine, if it really is something rebuilt from the ground up, and they remaster a game in Creation Engine 1, put it in Creation Engine 2, then, like, and it feels better, I feel like they would get a little bit less heat. But on top of the fact that the Fallout show is the second most watched thing on Amazon after, like, the Lord of the Rings show that they made.
Which is wild, because that show wasn't even that good.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, look, the Lord of the Rings thing goes deep, brother. This is a franchise that's lasted over 100 years. People forget that. On top of the fact that all they have is a Fallout 76 update and a next gen update that broke the game. And for PC players.
What really sucks at that for PC players is it also wiped all their mods. Like, mod support is completely busted for a worse quality game, which is mind-boggling.
For a worse quality, next to New Vegas, best in class game, right? It's the second best Fallout game after New Vegas, because that's a given. But AJ, I think they have a way out. I really truly do. I truly think this would work if they gave us, like, not even a whole show, give us like a 20-minute vignette of just an anime of just a character in the Fallout universe. Give me just 20 minutes.
Vault Boy, not Fallout Boy, the Vault Boy, do Vault Boy shorts. Yeah, Vault Boy. Do Vault Boy shorts.
Oh, Vault Boy shorts. Oh, yeah.
Like, do 15-minute little, like, episodes of them in a random adventure in the wasteland. I think that'd be so sick. It wouldn't be anime more than likely, but
hype would be insane. But listen, what if it was like the real Vault Boy? And it was like a gritty version, like a gritty take on the Vault Boy. Like, you start off every episode, it's like, what's your new Vault Tech Vault? And then, like, the next thing is just like an anime of a dude walking through a desert cutting people's heads off. Like, that would be dope. I don't even need a whole 10 minutes. Give me 5 minutes.
Or we could not even, and I agree, 5-10 minutes, we could not even touch the wasteland. We could have it just be in different vaults and just show the fucked up shit that's gone on in all the vaults.
Dude. Are you trying to Animatrix Fallout right now?
Dude. Bethesda.
Because listen.
Please.
Yeah, no. The Animatrix, first of all, time out. Let's just briefly talk about the Animatrix, probably the most underrated thing ever made. The Animatrix is so good. If you don't know what the Animatrix is, it's an anthology of different stories from the world of the Matrix that actually do tie back into the movies, but they're done in different anime styles from different anime companies.
Kind of like Star Wars Visions.
Exactly like Star Wars Visions, except it was on a DVD. The Matrix was way ahead of its time. Not the point. Literally, if you just do that in Fallout, and I'll be like, you know what? I can wait until 2030 for Fallout 5. Granted, that would be 20 years from now. 20 years from when Fallout 4 released. But isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy. That is really crazy.
Like, to put that in perspective, if Fallout 4 came out today, that would be like if Fallout 3 came out in 2004.
Wow.
Wow.
Anyways,
yeah. Kind of crazy. We're getting old, man. We're getting old.
I don't like to think about that. So back to anime games.
Pivot. Pivot,
We're just
baby.
gonna pivot, skirt. So another issue I would say with the anime game genre that we see a lot of is mobile games. You know, there's a heavy focus on mobile games, especially gacha games. You know, like One Punch Man World just came out, and that's like, it reminds me a lot of Genshin Impact, where it's, you know, this open world, you have the missions, you can have your builds, you know, play with friends, do all this stuff. It's on phones and PCs. It's actually, you know, not too bad. But it's heavily gacha inspired. If you want to get new characters, it's gacha. I mean, I know we didn't say this is technically an anime game, but I mean, Genshin Impact's it's pretty much an anime game, and that's.
I mean, yeah, it's just missing the anime. If it had an anime, then like it will fall in the same category as a Final Fantasy, Persona, etc., etc.
Yeah, and even still, yeah, exactly. Because even Final Fantasies had their own shows that are outside. And if you think of it, Animal Crossing actually then would kind of be an anime game, because there's an Animal Crossing anime movie. I think it's a 2-parter.
I mean, then technically that would mean that, are we counting Pac-Man? Are we counting just cartoons now?
Well, oh no, it's an anime. It's specifically an Animal Crossing anime.
Okay. Okay, cool. Just because, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that someone made Mario in an anime style.
There's also Sonic X, which is an anime.
Oh yeah, I you know something? I forget that is an anime. I truly forget, because it's very Western in a lot of ways. But it is an anime, huh? Yeah, that was that weird like Yu-Gi-Oh 5D shit.
Yeah, and speaking of which, you know, there's like, you know, there's tons of like Yu-Gi-Oh card-based games on the phone. There's, you know, every anime has a mobile app of some kind. I mean, I know there's a My Hero one, there's Tokyo Ghoul, there's, I think there's Jujutsu Kaisen, there's Naruto. I mean, there's every anime has a phone app, and almost all of them suck. Almost.
I'll be a little bit nicer. I'm not gonna say all of them suck. However, all of them do feel uninspired. How about that?
Okay. Yes, I'll give you that. Yeah. I mean, because again, like, you know, even though the One Punch Man one's a gacha game, it's actually pretty well made. Like, I enjoyed playing it. I mean, I didn't play like it. I didn't play like crazy, but like I played it a good amount, more than most other mobile anime games for sure.
So I got a question, and this literally, once we decided on this topic, I was like, all right, great, I got to make a list of anime games. But also, this is literally the next thing that came to mind. What's an anime that you've seen or have heard of or just know about that you're just like, yeah, no, that needs to be a video game?
Ooh, you know, for the longest time I have said Naruto, because again, like the Anbu thing, like I said earlier, I think that would be so cool. I don't really care to go into the, you know, giant tailed beast chakra insane stuff, really. Like it'd be cool to do like,
dude, a Naruto Souls Light where you play as an Anbu Black Op and you make your own build would be insane.
Dude, it would be so cool. But I have always wanted, like, I loved Dragon Ball Xenoverse because of this. I like games that make me feel super powered, and I can like, that are like fluid. Like, I love the Spider-Man games, Infamous games, like those kind of stuff. So Xenoverse really spoke to me because it had like that. I felt like an anime character. Like I was super powered and all this stuff. So I do also want an anime game to have that. I just don't know what anime I'd use to base it off of, really, you know?
Oh, can I give you one? This is easy. Seven Deadly Sins. Have you seen Seven Deadly Sins?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So this is the thing that I liked about Seven Deadly Sins. This is why I need to catch up. So if you're in the comments right now, relax. I've seen like 4 or 5 seasons. I know I got to catch up to season 7. Relax, calm down. And I think you would actually really like it. Literally in the first episode, like, everybody's fire. Like, there's not a whole lot of training. They're literally just like, yeah, I'm the physical embodiment of this sin. And then they like punch like literally a cloud out the sky, like just insane stuff. And I'm like, oh, I can get behind this. Right. And I think that kind of lends itself to that, because it's the thing of like, hey, like, I am this all powerful, almighty kind of being. But 1, I still need my team. And 2, I haven't had to use a lot of my skill set for the majority of my existence.
Yeah.
So I got to relearn a lot of stuff. So it kind of lends itself to like both kind of camps in a way.
I was just thinking maybe like, granted, it's not like my most favorite show out there. I'm caught up, so I enjoy it, but it's not my most favorite show. A My Hero A My Hero game could I think work really well. You know, you could have a lot of different play styles and stuff. Like, you could swap out teams and whatnot. If you make the movement really good and like make it feel good, I think it could work really well. It'd be a lot of work to have a diverse roster, but I think that could be cool.
I literally just remembered this as we were talking. The show Invincible, right? What we call Invincible in anime.
No, that's American cartoon.
Well, they're making a AAA game about it. So
if you're calling Invincible an anime, Avatar: The Last Airbender's an anime, and we all know it's not.
I thought we agreed upon that. I thought that was like a given because like the whole thing is like, yeah, anime is like a Japanese thing. It's literally just Japanese animation, but like
it's the same damn thing.
Ruby
really.
is an anime. If Ruby is an anime, shit, anything's an anime.
Ruby isn't from Japan? I thought it was.
No, it's made by Rooster Teeth, dog.
Oh, then absolutely it's not. I wouldn't say
there you go.
It's saying Invincible. I think is definitely not, because it's not even the anime art style. It is American cartoon art style. Whereas like Avatar: Last Airbender, like I would say mixes the two art styles between anime and American, but then also has Asian themes throughout the whole show.
All throughout. Yeah,
so
that's literally the theme. Yeah.
That one I would say is arguably would make more sense, but it's still not. It's still technically an American cartoon. Now, is there really that much of a difference? Does it really matter? No. But on a technicality, yes. Now, an Invincible game, I would love it. I am a
Are you ready, brother? I mean, they've come out and said that they're making it. We have no idea how far in development it is. I'm sure somebody somewhere is like, well, actually, they're only on the 5th month and programming is going to begin soon. Yeah, no. So that's coming at some point in the future. I'm very happy about that. I'm happy for any show that gets a lot of love and it's just genuinely good.
Yeah. Actually, are you caught up on Invincible?
Of course I'm caught up on Invincible. Are we finna talk spoilers, my brother? What's up?
I wasn't gonna go all the way because it doesn't even really go with the topic. We can chat about it sometime because I am a massive. It's becoming one of my favorite shows because I'm reading ahead. I'm buying the comics, and so which is actually my first comics I've ever bought. Is this series, and boy, is it gonna get good this next season. I'm not gonna say anything, but. Oh boy, is this next season gonna be crazy?
Yeah, no. I'm gonna say one thing, and I don't know if this is even a spoiler because they haven't mentioned it in the show at all. But I mean,
spoiler warning. That's all I have in case. Say. Oh, okay, yeah. No one's gonna know what that means.
All I'm gonna say is Conquest. That's
happening next season. That's confirmed for next season. So that's that's how we're gonna end it.
That's gonna be good.
It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. Anyways, I'm pretty much out of anime games I want to talk about. Is there anything that we've missed that you wanted to chat about?
Anything that we've missed? Let us refer to a list of things.
While you're looking, there is. A lot of anime-like games that are JRPGs, like a big list, between your Dragon Quests. Again, Persona, I can't stop talking about it. It's becoming.
You literally can't.
It's becoming one of my favorite game series of all time. Which I started on a whim.
That's valid.
But dude, I can't recommend it enough to people. I mean, okay, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. Persona is very slow. But then also not like I'm a big I like puzzles a lot and that kind of stuff, and so like the combat is very like puzzle based kind of. It's not, but it is. Like it doesn't. You can just mash through it, but like the fun comes from like mixing and matching combos and like it's just I don't know, man. And then you would like it. They have the life sim and the dating sim parts. Like so good.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I haven't made myself get. It's the same reason I haven't made myself get into Souls-like because like I will min max everything. So like that's the main reason. Yeah. I was like, no, I can't. Like it's the same reason like when I got COVID and I got COVID right as I got a brand new PlayStation 5 and a brand new copy of Deathloop, and I was like, I have to stop at midnight. Like I have to, or otherwise I will not sleep. Yeah. Right. And yeah, so it's the same reason. I believe you. I believe I will like it a lot. There's one thing I wanted to talk about before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There is one show that is. Jesus. There's one show that's currently It's a newer show. It's coming out as pretty much every week. It's called Ninja Kamui. Are you familiar, AJ?
I haven't watched it, but I've heard of it.
Oh my, AJ, it's AJ. I can't recommend this show. Like,
okay.
I can't. AJ, I want you to understand that this Ninja Kamui as a fighting game, like, would print money, paper, cheese bread, dog. Like, I need you to understand, there's a whole thing. There's a fight that happens. I'm not going to tell you anything other than just a couple cliff notes, right? They start off in mechs. They fight in some mechs for a while. They do the anime thing where they come head first. They clash. The anime mechs just blast off like scrap iron. They just boom, bam, whatever, right? Now they're fighting with swords, okay? They're fighting with swords, doing the thing. Somebody loses a sword. Somebody's coming up top, brains down on it. Cuzzo punches the sword and breaks the sword, and he's like, I know that shit's only gonna work once, so I gotta use it while I got it. And that was really dope. And then the whole fight becomes a thing about like, oh, but it wasn't my intention to make you feel how you felt about the thing, and I'm only here because of this thing. And I was like, oh, dude, my brother in Christ, I cannot articulate how much this show means to me and how good this show is, and this show as a fighting game. Again, literally print money. Again, it's newer, but I think I'm ready to put that up there in like top 5 shows ever. I'm ready.
Wow.
I'm ready. I'll put that up there with Breaking Bad, because it kind of like how when you watch Attack on Titan, which I know I need to watch. I know. And it's just like, oh, the threads, oh, the ideas, oh, the story. It's like how everything like ties together. It's that, but in 10 episodes.
Okay, yeah, so it's a quick watch, which I like. I like shows that are quick done, because I don't, between the games I like to play and all the shows I want to watch, and then, it's podcast, work, I have another side business, I just don't have time for these long shows, like One Piece. I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't have time for One Piece, and I'm sorry. Tell me I have commitment issues in the comments. But it's, yeah, no, and then it's coming out like every week, like literally like weekly. So right now I think they just dropped. I'm kind of dating this a little bit, but they just dropped the 12th episode. Obviously 13th, 14th, whatever, probably going on like 26 or whatever. So you're able to catch it early enough to where you don't have to catch up. Just give the first episode a watch, because the premise like is stated in the first episode. Everything you need to know is in the first 20 minutes. If you don't like the first episode, you probably aren't gonna like the show. But yeah, Ninja Kamui as a fighting game, yeah, brother.
All right, I'm gonna give before we go, and this is a bit ungaming related, but I do want to give attention to a hidden gem to the whole 15 people watching. Scissor 7. It's a Netflix original. Have you seen it?
I've heard nothing but good things. I haven't made myself watch that. It's just never linked up my schedule.
It's not anime because it's Chinese, but it is, and there's English dub. I'd highly recommend, because it has like One Punch Man kind of humor, but it is surprisingly good. Like, it started out as like, oh, this is gonna be like a comedy action, and the action's great. The action's super good. It's super fluid. Whatever. It's like crayon drawing almost, but it's like super fluid. That's funny. It's super cool, but then like the story, like as it goes, you're kind of like, okay, what's going on here? And we still don't know what's going on, but it's like, oh, there's like some shit going on. Like the main dude's like, his whole thing is he's like telekinetic, so he's a barber, so he uses scissors and like throws them around and shit. Like, he's like, and you could like split them in half and like do all this stuff, and so like it's kind of neat. But then you like kind of learn this early on, so not much of a spoiler. Like you learn that like from his past, he like was a different kind of guy, and he like his old weapon, like this is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen. It's a sword that's held together by 1,000 pieces, and so he like telekinetically holds it all together. And so like, let's say you're blocking as he's swinging it, the sword will break in half, and he still controls it all and will still slice through you. So there's like no way to combat it. Like he could split them up and like use it as like a whip or like anything. Like he could just spread them all out and go. Like it's pretty cool. It's a really cool concept. I haven't seen like a weapon that's like that cool. I think it's super cool concept.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah. And then I guess I get friendly honorable mention. Mob Psycho needs a game. That's all I'm gonna say.
I was thinking about that as I was talking about that, and I was about to bring that up. Yes, that's my lock-in for like a superpowered game. Mob Psycho, hands down. It would have that show has some of the best animation. It's like the sloppiest but best animation. And if you look at the manga, it's the most disappointing thing when you like compare it to the fight scenes. It's not, dude. Like seriously, look it up after this. Like I was like I might read this manga, and then I looked at it, I'm like nope. That's
that makes sense. I will say I guess my kind of power fantasy. I think this character already has a game. Chainsaw Man. That would be fun.
AJ. I think
AJ,
it's just a shitty mobile game that it has, but I think it does have one. I could be wrong. But yeah, dude.
Give me a double A experience. Give me Stellar Blade, but Chainsaw Man.
Dude, that'd be perfect. Oh, and just make it like a 15, 20-hour experience. Kind of Stellar Blade is a bit longer, but like, kind of like that where it's shorter, and you just kind of go through it, and dude, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We could literally be here all day. We haven't even talked about No More Heroes. That lends itself to an anime perfectly. But this is a gaming podcast, and I think we're pretty much at the end of our rope. Speak.
I got nothing else. So, Anthony, I'll let you give your last thoughts.
Like, comment, subscribe. We love you. We think about you all the time. Talk about you all the time. And we upload new episodes every Monday, and it's not mundane. That's only funny to me. AJ, don't pity laugh. Stop. Don't. But see, now they think we hate each other. It's fine. We do.
You know what? Stay mediocre.